video I'm going to make a set of monkey bars for a monkey bar and swing set. How to build the upright and assemble the complete unit will be covered in future videos. Years ago I made a sandpit for the kids, then I made an automated lid for the sandpit, but the kids are much older now, so the sandpit is now a vegetable patch. The bars themselves are made from 20mm solid stainless steel, which was scrap metal from an old conveyor. I know you probably won't have any stainless, but you could use 20mm steel bar or similar. The blue plastic coating is actually 25mm MDPE piping, which is left over from another job. I should point out that I'm not a structural engineer, so I tend to over-engineer things rather than have them fail. To start off with, I'm cutting the stainless to the correct length. I have cut 7 or 8 pieces to about 900mm in length. I have then chamfered the end using a grinder. You can of course cut the stainless with a grinder too. I've now got some 25mm MDPE plastic pipe. This is being pushed over the stainless and knocked down using a mallet. This will cover the bars completely and leave a great surface which should never need painting. You can remove any writing from the pipe using methylated spirit and a clean rag. I've now cut a scrap piece of 3x2 timber to 175mm in length, which is the same width as the timber being used for the build. I have drilled a 25mm hole on the bench drill. The hole is central to the piece of timber but is offset to one end, so that when the hole is drilled, the hole is high up in the timber rather than being in the centre. This will be used as a drilling guide. I have also drilled 2 holes through the timber so that it can be fixed in position using 2 screws. I've now got 2 of the tannalised gate posts, which are 175mm square and are 2.75 metres in length. I have put these side by side and I have marked them out ready for drilling. I've drawn lines at 300mm apart for the position of the bars. Each time I move the drilling template from one piece of timber to the other, I am flipping it over so that all the holes remain at the top side of the timber. If I turn both of these pieces so that the holes face each other, the holes will match up perfectly. I'm drilling the holes to approximately 120mm deep, so that even when the bars are pushed into position there will be a slight gap, so that the bars are not jammed in tightly. I cleaned out all of the holes and painted some external wood glue in the holes to seal them. The posts are that wide that even the 12-inch DeWalt Mighty Saw will not cut them without flipping them over. I've cut two of these at 700mm wide. These will fit in between the two posts, forming the frame for the monkey boys. Now I've put the first post on a flat surface and I'm knocking in all of the boys. Now I've turned the piece and I have pre-drilled the ends. I'm using some small packing wedges to ensure that I get both pieces aligned perfectly before using the impact driver to drive in these 400mm long screws. I'm now drilling the pilot holes in the other post. I've now stood the frame up and I'm going to lift the second post and guide in some of the boys. Obviously this will be much easier with two people. Once all the boys are in position, you can then tap the post down using a mallet. I'm now ensuring that the sides are perfectly aligned before driving in two of the 400mm long screws using the impact driver. This end was a bit trickier as I had to use some pieces of timber and clamps to align it correctly. Because wood is a natural product, it is often warped or bent slightly. After getting it in the correct position, I am driving in the screws, but this time the impact driver does not have enough power, so I've swapped over to the impact wrench. So that's how I made the monkey boys. In the next video I'll show how the posts were inserted and levelled. Then in the final video I'll show how the whole thing was assembled.
Put it down? Yeah.
Obviously it takes more time doing the filming and editing of the video than it does doing the job itself. So please show your support by sharing the video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment if you can. Thank you for your support.